Hey peeps, Virginia Troll here. But I'll let you know what I'm getting up to today. As anyone that's been following me knows that I run two sets of rims. I've got the big 35s, which are fantastic for off-roading, but awful for fuel economy. So I do run another set of rims because I tow a van and other stuff. So yeah, the other rims I've got need a bit of a spruce up. They're trashed as. So after four-wheeling, I've put scratches, chips, dents, all that sort of stuff. They're aluminium. They just look rubbish at the moment, so I'm going to give them a bit of a freshen up today, and this is how I'm doing it. First I'll talk about the ingredients needed for doing this freshen up. So you will need a sander of some sort, because I'm going to have to putty up. So yeah, I've got some putty here. Nothing flash, it's just whatever I had laying around. You need some sort of a spatula as well for that. I'm going to undercoat it with this special aluminium primer. It's supposed to do all sorts of things, so just make sure you get something that's going to suit aluminium. First I clean the wheels with non-acid. I don't know why, but acid sounds like a bad thing, so I decided to go for a non-acid brand. Note that when you use this stuff, spray it on for 30 seconds, wipe it off, hose it off straight away, because otherwise it starts to eat into the aluminium and mark it as well. I figured 3 cans of the undercoat would be enough, and that seems to be going alright. And then a can each for each wheel of the colour. I'm going to do a gloss black, and once again I've got the proper wheel stuff, whatever it's called, VHT. So I'm hoping this is going to come up looking sweet. Not essential, but I also needed probably 1 can per wheel. It doesn't matter what quality of beer you use. I'm a big fan of cheap beer, so that's what I have been working on today. Alright, so what I had to do is first have a look at the wheels. They were scratched out as buggery, so I cleaned them good and proper, then puttied them up, and then started the undercoating. So I've just undercoated these now, and already they're looking good. There were some serious gouges in these before, and I reckon they're looking sweet. About a beer between letting the putty dry to sanding it, and then about another beer per wheel, I would say, to let these dry, and then before flipping them over. You can hear I've done the back side of this one. So next step will be to get the black out. Probably in a couple of days I'll let this harden and give them a bit of a rub back with some wet and dry. So I'll check in with you in a few days when I'm doing the colour. So here we are, come back 2 days, I've let the rims harden up a bit, the paint on the rims. So we're just going to check them out and see how they look. Yeah, they've come up nicely. Where the putty was, where there was gouges in there, that's come up nice and flat, which is good. So I'll give them probably a bit of a sand with some 2000 just to dust it up a bit, and then I'll put some colour on there. I'm going to spray the inside of the wheels first, just because then when I flip them over to do the front, I'm not going to get overspray on the front side. So yeah, the way I usually do this, and I'm not saying I'm a professional painter or anything, but I usually do a bit of a dust coat first, something like this. I reckon that just gets it sticking a bit, so I'll go through all the rims and do that, then I'll come back and hit it with a nice wet coat afterwards. Here we go. first wheel done. It's looking good. I hope it looks this good when it's dry. It was really tricky to get into all these little angles, so I ended up walking around the wheel once in one direction, then anti-clockwise, and then I didn't realise how many facets these wheels have, but it's one wheel done and lots to go. Yeah. Okay, here's the finished product. Let's see how they go. Well, it went as good as could be expected. You do these sorts of things to any tyre and any wheel, and that's what's going to happen. So this is how I did a quick fix-up whilst on the car, masked up the wheel nuts and around the wheel, and then went and built myself a little cardboard template so I could spray around the wheel and just gave them a quick touch-up. Looks $1 million. To be honest, I do this with the sidebars and everything anyway because they get scratched up every time I go out. So this just gives them a bit of a freshen up, and I reckon it looks sweet.